the Louisiana, the back of the Louisiana, in Bristol, not Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol in the UK, and I'm with the Queen of Soul and Spectacle. How do you feel when people introduce you in such reverent terms? I mean, I've listened to a lot of interviews, I've seen you on TV, but that one stood out for me, the Queen of Soul and Spectacle.
I appreciate that. It's certainly very kind when people say nice things about you. I would not deny that. I feel very lucky to do what I do and for people to be receptive in the way that you have been tonight.
I came down here a year ago. We were at a venue not too far away from here. And I don't know who said it, but it was one of the old Hollywood legends said, listen, if you want to make an impression on anybody, you walk in like you own the joint.
Yes.
Right. And when I walked in and you took to the stage, the bar was full and I was with maybe 3 or 4 other people. I would say at a conservative estimate, 6 minutes later, the place was full. It was incredible.
Yes.
How you managed to drag this audience from their beer to actually take their positions and sit there and listen, and no phones going. Everyone was like, so what's the secret? Why do you click with a UK audience? I
love to host a great party, and whenever I step onto the stage, I always see it as a chance to connect with people and create an environment that disarms the listeners and gives them the opportunity to move their bodies and to respond to the music in a way that feels authentic to them. And I think that attitude is a really big part of performing, and where it's coming from makes a big impact on how the audience receives it.
Yeah.
So I always just make sure that I'm coming from the right place when I step onto the stage.
Joe, it's funny, isn't it? Life is all about moments, isn't it? And if you look back throughout your life, it was a lady whose name was Marianne Evan, wasn't it, in New York,
okay.
Who said to you, planted that seed and said to you, hey,
yes.
have you ever thought about becoming a lead singer with a rock band?
Yeah.
And then it planted the seed that never left.
Sure, yeah, and that is really important, I think, for any adult to remember when you're speaking to a child or a teenager or a young adult. There's an incredible influence happening, especially if they respect what you're saying, and it can absolutely change the course of somebody's life. And when my teacher in college said that to me, it was a really big awakening that changed the course of my life.
Do you still keep in touch? Have you ever spoken to her?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. I actually keep in touch with almost all of my teachers. Most of my performing arts teachers are very good about keeping in touch and being really supportive about the band, coming to shows still, which has been amazing. So, yeah.
Last 18 months for you have covered the full gamut of emotions, haven't they? I mean, you lost your mother. The band have been getting more and more recognition. You've had the EP coming out. You've been touring non-stop, and then I think of you've been showing off the ring. Haven't you?
This is my mom's engagement ring. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I thought I saw a picture of you.
You did see a picture.
I did see.
I did not bring the engagement ring with me over to Europe because I was worried about losing it. So I brought my mom's instead. But yes, I am recently engaged to the guitarist of our band, Aaron. So yeah. Lots of big things.
So, I mean, how did that feed into what you produced in the EP? Because Blueprints, there is a lot of emotion in this album.
Yeah.
It is unlike anything I think that people expected, especially if you consider what has gone before. And you've got a little bit of the devil on your side. We got the operator. We got Blue Monday. Everything is different. There's no 2 songs the same.
I know that was really deliberate, and I hope that cuts. I hope that translates. That we very deliberately wanted to create an EP with many different sounds, because this album being named Blueprints is to represent the foundation that we're laying for this next chapter of our career. And there are several different styles that I really enjoy tapping into, but this album is very much a roadmap for what will come on the full-length record next year. And we wanted to get a feel for the songs off of Blueprints that people really resonated with, to get an idea of what type of album we're going to debut next year as a band, what kind of sound we're going to really hone in on. And so it's been really exciting to see the songs that have kind of risen to the top and gotten some attention and some radio play and some love. And that certainly helps to direct us in terms of what to focus on for the debut.
There's a lot in that back catalogue that needs revisiting, from Dodge the Arrow, the debut album that you self-released, which is something from the horizon, Steamroller, great track, and then Losing or Lost My Sight, which had so many great tracks on it. Lead Blood was the standout for me. I mean, it was dark, it was brooding, but so many great tracks. But you know, the one issue I had was, after seeing you last year and looking, we need to find more on this artist. It's as the broadcast, it's listed, and not as you.
Correct. Yeah.
So that needs to be revisited, because there's too much on there that
you know,
people
it's something to be considered. It's something that we've talked about. I mean, we really love writing new music. We really love kind of capturing where we're at in the moment and cataloging where we're at in our lives in this time. But I do agree with you. There's a few songs in our back catalog that really speak to the energy and the style that we're going for as Caitlin Krisko in the broadcast. So it remains to be seen. Maybe those songs will be revisited. Maybe not. I don't
know. All of those styles and moods and templates that you've got. What is most important for you? Is it to produce something that you know that the public are going to tap into, or is it something that pleases you because it's what you want to do?
I think that it's probably a little bit of both. I love music. I love so many different styles of music. I certainly try to keep our listeners in mind when we're creating music, because we do have a community and we do have fans that are really supportive and love our music. And I think there's a certain sound that people have come to expect from us as a band. And we're always trying to push the boundaries of that sound a little bit, just to keep it fresh and inspirational and inspired for us. But at our core, we are a roots rock band, which incorporates rock and roll and blues and singer-songwriter qualities. And the catalog of music that you listen to is absolutely a catalog of the life experiences that we've gone through as a band.
And all your influences, I mean, you can hear them seeping into tracks. I was listening to Blue Monday, and the benefit, of course, of being on this planet long enough, or longer than you have, is that we've heard more. And I was hearing so many. I was hearing Helen Reddy's Angie Baby.
Okay.
A bit in that. You listen to those bands, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's really good. But the element of surprise is a big plus for you. Actually producing things that surprise people, but always in a good way. Becoming too predictable is, you just become another band. So
yeah, I think that it's really important that songs have their own life and their own individuality, and we've always been really focused on not regurgitating sounds that have already made the charts in music history.
Yeah.
We can't repeat those moments in time. I think you and I kind of touched on this in our last interview, that it's really important that when people listen to our music, they recognize that it's from this century and this time.
Absolutely right. So in other words, the best quote that you could pick up there is, you be the best version of yourself, as opposed to a second-rate version of somebody else.
Absolutely. 100%. And what I love about music is that it is truly magic, in the sense that does not exist until you make it so. And when I sit down to write a song, sure, somebody could write a song with a similar theme or idea or chord progression, but you're never going to write the same song as someone else. You can only write the music that comes from you. And I love that. I think that that's really sacred and really important. And so I always make sure that we're in the right space mentally, energetically, to be able to create from that perspective.
And a wider audience sort of listening, so you're getting more comments in magazines like Rolling Stone. So you appear in Rolling Stone. I imagine what would irritate you, if I was you, what would irritate me is seeing a headline that said, the best kept vocal secret coming out of the Southwest. You don't want to be a secret. Who wants to be a secret?
I definitely do not want to be a secret. Now, being mentioned in Rolling Stone is incredible. It's a milestone. It was something that I have dreamed of for my entire life. I certainly hope that with that mention and with that article that we become less of a secret and people know us a little bit more as time goes on, for sure.
But people are going to want to know more about you. Now, people don't know a lot about you. They know you've got a hell of a voice and you've got an incredible stage presence and you put on a fantastic show. But that isn't enough. People want to know more about you. So what does Caitlin do when she isn't singing? What do you like to do?
A woman needs her secrets. My jury is out when it comes to how much I want to share on a personal level in my life. Only because I feel like we've gotten to this point with social media and people really sharing so much of who they are
I'm talking about, I spend a lot of time in my garden.
I do. I do. I spend a lot of time in my garden. We write a lot of music. I love reading books. I enjoy
Who's your favorite
hiking. I love Tom Robbins, and right now I am reading the Court of Thorn and Roses series by Sarah Moss, which is incredible. The ladies, if you're watching, I know you know about it. I don't even have to talk about it. It's an incredible series. I have consumed 4 books already on this tour alone, so I've read thousands of pages of this story on this tour alone. So.
And this tour in this country, which has taken to you very, very quickly indeed. Yeah, I mean, I think 2016 was the first time you came to Europe. It was in France, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so the UK is playing catch up. Have you been surprised by the response to your performances and your music from basically a standing start 12 months ago?
I mean, I'm extremely grateful. We all are as a band. It's been amazing to feel like we've found our community. We've found a scene of music that's really enthusiastic about blues and rock and roll. When I got back from the UK last year, I was telling my friends in Nashville, UK loves blues and rock the way that America loves bluegrass and country. And I feel like we've really found our people. We had amazing reception in England, amazing reception in Scotland. We've started getting some inquiries from other places around here for 2025. So I definitely think that UK is going to be like a regular visitation for us in the foreseeable future. And I'm really very grateful for that, and I love the scene, and I really love the people that we've met here.
What about the UK culture? Is there anything in particular?
Yeah, I love it.
Like everybody always talks about how bad the food is.
No, the food. There's some good stuff. Let's talk about Greg's sausage.
Not Greg's. Greg's sausage rolls?
Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. They are.
That's
Facts.
absolutely fabulous.
You don't even need to feel guilty about loving them. They're good. They're really good. Also, I love your pot pies is what we call them.
Yeah.
But like a beef and Guinness pie, amazing, delicious on a rainy, cold night. Yes, please.
Have you tried Guinness on its own?
I have a glass of it right now. It's on the stage. I had a half of it during sound check.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I love it. Also, you guys have great chicken shops. Come on. Peri Peri chicken, delicious. Nando's is good. But now, honestly, I'm getting into like just the Peri Peri chicken shops. I mean, you guys have so many great things that come from England. Chicken Shop Date. Love that YouTube series. It's so good. So yeah.
And so lastly then, the future. You've been talking about this, the new album, etc. So is it in the diary? When are you going to start recording? Who have you got on board to produce? Well,
this feels really important to say. We had scheduled studio time as soon as we got back to the States from this tour, but unfortunately our city of Asheville has been Decimated. Like, it's not an exaggeration to say that our city has been destroyed. Unfortunately, a hurricane took a very unexpected turn, and just 40 feet of water flooded our town and city, and we're really distraught over what we know we're going to be coming home to. If you're watching, Beloved Asheville is an incredible organization that's doing great work. I would be remiss if I did not mention that in this interview, because that has been my home for 14 years and I love it, and it's an amazing community. We are going to focus on helping our community when we get home for a few weeks to hopefully get some of our friends back on their feet who have lost their homes, lost their businesses. It's very serious. But we are going to be recording in the next month or two in Asheville in our home studio. Our guitarist, Aaron Austin, is going to produce it as of now. There could be some guest producers, of course, as things develop. But as of now, we're doing everything in-house, because in today's world, that is what's required. And I also think that's really important to talk about in interviews whenever I get the chance, that DIY is a very real thing. It is very possible, because the cost of things has gotten so astronomical, and we've got to be savvy, and we've got to respond to the industry changes. And in order to release music consistently, we've really had to create a home studio, and Aaron has learned how to produce. He produced all of Blueprints for us, which was incredible. He did a great job, and we're going to repeat that magic on the full-length record.
People will be saying again, but why aren't you signed to
I don't know. Isn't that, I don't know. We certainly want
really?
We would love a manager. Incredible. We would love a booking agent. We would love a label. You
used to do a bit of that as well, didn't you? Booking agents.
I still kind of do some of that stuff. We are really looking forward to that changing. It's really important that the people who work with us understand what it is we're doing, what we are trying to achieve, and they see it and they understand it, they believe in it, they're enthusiastic about it.
Do you actually prospect? In other words, what I mean is, do you actually send your music to record companies, to managers, to agents, etc., to get it?
When it feels appropriate, yes. When it feels like a good match, when it feels like someone who's maybe worked with other artists that are similar to the genre that we're pursuing right now.
Because I can't imagine, for one thing, if you, I don't know, got a load of record company execs in an office and you play them anything off the last few albums, that they're going to sit there going, nah, that's not for us, not good enough. It really is one of those anomalies, because as quaint as this venue is here today, I'm sitting there thinking, this is ridiculous. Why aren't you playing in a bigger venue? I put your EP on last night in a house. We had a few people around. I said, what are you going to think about? Yeah, this is really good. Who's this? And it's that thing. Is it? Oh, who is it? Where are they from? Well,
we've gotten a lot of really wonderful support from UK Press, and also Planet Rock Radio has been incredibly supportive of us. I think things like that really help. And also, keep in mind, this is our second time over here in less than a year.
Yeah, true.
We've never played here before, and there's a lot of incredible music, a lot of great artists. I mean, even this venue alone is legendary. If you look downstairs at the artists who performed here, Coldplay and Amy Winehouse, Jose Gonzalez, Placebo, it goes on and on and on. And so the reality is everybody starts somewhere, and honestly,
bet they never had a shout out from Mavis stage.
Hey, I'll take it. That felt like a beautiful moment for sure. But we're very grateful to be here, and no matter the size of the venue or the audience, we're always ready to rock.
Thank you very much.